안녕하세요 여러분, Hallyu Reviews입니다.
Hey y'all, I'm Shamra and I'm here with my girl Sabrina, and we are Hallyu Reviews, two Americans who are swept up in the Korean wave as it reaches across the globe. We have a love of all Korean music. We're reacting to the ATEEZ KQ Fellaz performances, and so there's 3 different performances, right?
There are 3 with the entire group, and then Yunho has a solo performance. So there are 4 videos in total.
Okay.
They're not the entire song, if I'm not mistaken. So they're just little like 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute videos. But we just finished reaction. we just finished reacting to KQ Fellaz. So they're like American training, and that was a lot of fun. We broke it up into 2 different videos. So it was like episodes 1 through 10, and then 11 through, what was it, 19, and then we had the MV, but the MV had to get cut because it was blocked, and so I had to just cut it out, and anytime the song popped up, it had to like be taken out, so we sound a bit digital, and I apologize, but we wanted to get the content up there as in whatever form we could. So it is up there. It's just a lot of fun to see them so young. So this all happened, I believe this all happened as a result of their training in the US, and it was pre-debut. So this was originally listed as KQ Fellaz Performance Video 1, 2, and 3, but is now, they've had the ATEEZ added to it so that you know that that's who it is. So these are a lot of fun. These are iconic in the ATEEZ world. If you're not ATEEZ, you just start playing Pick It Up, and you will, every ATEEZ can just picture ATEEZ doing this dance. So let's go ahead and take a look.
Might be some bad words, y'all.
Right. There may be some foul language, but just go with it.
Well, you got to remember, they were trained in LA.
Oh, yeah.
In the US. And so I feel like we're a little more free with our speech.
We are.
Than Korea.
Yes.
So,
yes. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Here we go.
Here we go. So this is performance video number 1.
Hey, yo, big bro, you fucking with that? Okay, cool. That's my fucking brother right there. You did. That's not Pick it up, groove. Baby girl, watch how you move. I got the mix on my shoes. Pop up, put it out loose. Wait, speed it up. Look at the diamonds, they eat it up. Every 2 bitches, I'm eating up. They thinking I'm wiping the lead it up. Oh, wait, hey, pints in, call up rocket. My brother play like a socket. Kicking this door, yeah, I got it. Open the safe, you can't lock it. Sipping that white, yeah, go to the top.
Wow.
Bitch like a Glock. She like to suck on my clock. Yeah, I get that money, don't stop. Dexter. I'm saying, like, I know you like this beat too, but you a fucking goofy though. Oh wait, work around.
I love how they move around in a circle like that.
Wait, our future years, right on my clothes. Bad bitch, yeah, watch you do coke. Broke as hell, used to sleep on the floor. I never do it no more. Telling you broke is no joke. I used to kick in that dope. Wait, now I'm selling out the shows. All of my wrist fitting right on my clothes. Hold a little mama, you tweaking. A bad bitch, Puerto Rican. Get her out, mama, she geeking. Call me a free every shit for the weekend. Dexter. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. We gonna get you.
Oh. Okay. And here's performance video number 2. I love that their shenanigans in the like garages started with these because they're known for that.
Look at me, God. Look at me, God.
This is Cardi B.
Looking like a quarter lick. Run up on me, you get hit.
They're so in sync.
With the shit. From New York, he's a bitch. Looking like a quarter lick. Since they wanna bend that bitch.
I feel like the lights are darker in this one than they were in the first one.
I would agree, yeah.
Looking like a quarter lick. Looking like a quarter lick.
And it's very interesting to me that they're not meant to stand out as individuals because they're all wearing the same outfit. Like they've got the black hats on. So you're meant to see them as a unit, I think.
Look at me. Looking like a quarter lick.
Okay. And here is performance video number 3. This is the first time we see them with white. This looks like it's in a different location.
It does look like it's in a different location.
Which might be why they're wearing white. So you can see them better.
Okay, Jungho.
I was gonna say,
Like,
get it, Jungho.
Ooh. That's when they were picking on Hongboom.
Why?
With the
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I like this one too.
I feel like in this one they have a little bit more individuality. Like their shirts aren't exactly the same, and I feel like they're not quite as in sync, but it feels more deliberate. Like it's more about their own.
Their personalities
Yeah.
are really shining through a little bit more. Their swag, individual swag, I guess I should say. Individual style.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that is really cool.
Wow. Okay, so I feel like the first one really focused on Yunho and Wooyoung. I feel like the second one was really Jungho's song, and then I think the third one had Jungho, but it really featured Mingi in the front. Like I could be mistaken, but I was looking to see who was the center in each song, and that seemed to be the majority of the way they played it. But I also feel like as they went along, you saw a little bit more individuality, and you saw just kind of their style, their take on all the moves as we went on. But the first one was definitely a lot more like in sync. They were all doing the same thing. Pick It Up is just iconic for ATEEZ and for ATEEZ alike. It's a lot of fun. Now the only one to do a solo performance is Yunho. So this is Yunho by himself and like backup dancers, which I don't know if they would be BB Trippin at this point. They'd probably be.
I wouldn't think so.
Because I don't know if these were in LA or if these were back in Korea.
But I feel like these could very well be in LA.
They
With the
could.
parking garages and the style of the
music
and
they could
even
be.
like the atmosphere and stuff too.
I guess we'll be able to see, because if they're all Korean backup dancers, then it might be back in Korea.
That's
but
true. I do have to disagree with you though. I think Jungho he kicked ass in number 3. Like I think
I'm
that
not
was
saying he
his, like-
didn't do a great job. But
I know,
Mingi
but
was
I think-
center the most in the third song.
But that's why I think Jungho like won that one, was because
Because he
even though
wasn't
he
centered.
wasn't centered, my
Okay.
eye went to like him. And it's really funny because we just watched your eyes never do. We just went to
That is not true. That is not true.
You've got the giant, like the tall tower.
To be fair, I was watching Mingi that time.
To be
So wrong. I love Jungho. What do you think we
Wait
say
a
about
minute.
Jungho?
To be fair, we just watched the guide and it talked about how he's not known for his dancing, and the other members, even Songwa, was like, no, he's a really good
Yeah,
dancer.
yeah.
Like he does a lot of really good dancing, and like the
Right.
crumping style, and you could see it.
So that was
And
crumping? Is
it-
that
not necessarily crumping, but just that like hard hitting, like foot stomping, like kind of style.
Okay. Okay.
You could see it.
Fair enough.
Loved
Okay.
it.
Okay, so this one, my eyes will in fact be on Yunho the entire time, because he's the only
He's
member
the
there.
only one.
So, if that is all right with you, I shall indulge. Okay, so here we go. So this is Yunho's solo performance.
I'm in love with the go-go. Ride through the city with a check
This
on
is
me.
so,
Ride
like,
through the hood
crazy.
with a tech on me. 28 make a double. I ain't never trying to cut it, so explain why these motherfuckers slapped on me. 8 ball till I reach me a kilo. Made enough, then I went to see Rico. Pay the fool if you acting like Rico. I'ma tie him up, take his ass like Rico. Had a real clip in the motherfucking tech. Get the hot 9-7, if his ass wanna flex. High school got it for the nigga with the rock. 12 came with my pistol in a fucking dishwasher. One hit one. Yeah, that's a fact. Hit his
I wish they wouldn't zoom in so tight that you can't see the footwork though. I sound like that too.
Ass like a goddamn dog. Cocoa Puffs, yeah, that's for the kids. Stop trying to act like you don't know what it is. Vegas soda ain't cut me no check. If they don't, I'ma show them motherfuckers what an arm and hammer is. Everybody know I'm in love with the coke.
See, when he does like that move, that's like the crumping style of it.
I'ma squeeze it, I'm out like a part 2 clothes. I'm in love with the cocoa. I'm in love with the cocoa. I got it for the Lolo. Turn up. I'm in love with the cocoa.
Oh!
So much swag in these.
Swag, yes. Okay, Yunho won the last one.
He was the best ATEEZ member present. That first of all, to have the honor of being the only one to do a solo
So
is
true.
as the person in the guide said, like, that's why he's the main dancer. I know that they have multiple main dancers, but a lot of people, he's like the dance captain. He's like the one that handles a lot of their choreography. The other members do as well, but he tends to teach the choreography, and you see it. Like, he'll just take over and help them out.
Well, you
and
see
help
it in
them
a lot of
learning.
shows too. Like if they're doing things off of like beats and tones, he's normally the first one who
count.
picks it up and the first one to get it, and he can tell you what song it is by like the sound.
Oh
of the
yeah.
stomps
What was the one where they were like directing their dance moves, but they they were just calling it out in a weird fashion, and then he was like remembering like Treasure, which they haven't performed the choreography in forever. I mean, and the members themselves were quite impressed. So yes, he won the last one, I believe, and it was really quite an honor. And I think this was brilliant because it really put them on the map. Like
It did.
KQ Fellaz, people were talking about them before they debuted as ATEEZ because of Jungho's apple splitting while singing and because
true.
of these dance performances. I mean, it was just brilliant. I really think that the president of KQ made a lot of really good choices to be from a small label and to get these guys out there. Just brilliant. And it really, their time in the U.S. really influenced their style. And we joked about this earlier, I don't know if it was today or last night when we were recording, but we were joking about how the reels that, and Mingi did when they were younger were a lot cuter. And they're getting like sexy and whatever. But then, I said that agreeing. But now I think about it, like you look at this kind of stuff and you look at them do like the NCT Boss and everything. It's
true.
like, they've really been pretty powerful and pretty, like, they're just not sexy the way Wooyoung is sexy. Like, they're, not that they can't be, but Wooyoung is, like, intentionally sexy. Like, remember that's the thing he said, that, like, he was the sexy one, so, like, he always had to be sexy, and sometimes he just wanted to be cute.
That's true.
And so it was hard, that balance. And, Mingi's always saying he looks tough and scary, and he wants to be cute sometimes. So there's that outward perception of what the world thinks of you, and then there's that, like, inner princess inside that you want to be, and they're not always the same image.
That's true.
But they all are quite capable of being super sexy, and it's different for each member, I feel like,
Well,
the way it comes out.
To be fair, I feel like this, being very early on, is not necessarily a side of Yunho that we've seen until lately.
That's true. I mean, he, like, when they're doing a lot of the performances, it's like he wasn't a member of the Demon Line. He's not the one, like, walking around shirtless and all that stuff. Like, that he's definitely very, very good at this kind of dancing. But he's one of the taller members, so he's usually in the back. Like, he only comes to the front when he's in the center for, the beginning of a performance, and then he very, like, graciously moves aside and someone else is there. So you don't really get to see that much. And their recent Japanese single, what was it, Birthday? We got to see him doing a little bit of contemporary, which I think was the first time I've seen him do contemporary, like, honestly. And that was really, really cool. I always have a huge appreciation for a dancer who does more than one style. It's why Jimin of BTS is one of my absolute favorites, because he can just do the hip hop and the contemporary and like the ballet and all, and it's just like, wow, that is like crazy good dancer. So it's a lot of fun to see how they developed over time as like KQ Fellaz and then today. But yeah, I was very impressed with Jungho. He like nailed it. Way to go. Okay. And I liked that in the beginning you couldn't really tell. It's kind of like Hala Hala, and that you were intentionally not supposed to know who was whom. Like,
because really normally I complain about the hats, but even the hats didn't bother me in this case.
Right. Well, I'm sure you could as well. I knew who was who. Mm-hmm. Like, I knew which member was which. But if I had watched this, obviously back then, I wouldn't have known. And it would have been like, oh, okay. But it makes them come together as one team. So you're not singling out. It's not a Justin Timberlake kind of thing where you're like, okay, that guy's really, really good. And okay, it's like Diana Ross. I'll take the Supremes because I want Diana Ross. This was definitely more of a 8 makes one team. And that theme has carried with them to today.
Throughout. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Even when doing solo work, it's still all about the 8 makes one team. And I really love that. That can really become an issue for groups as they've been together longer and longer, and they want different things, and it's perfectly okay, but it breaks the hearts of fans when they do. It's like, no. So I love how much ATEEZ loves and supports all the members, and like, it's all a success. If one's succeeding, they're all succeeding.
They're all succeeding, yes. It's that mentality and that mindset right there that just carries them into new heights and new avenues and things of new adventures that they've yet to explore and discover, that makes me so excited to be an ATEEZ.
Absolutely. And they have so much confidence in themselves and each other that they're not afraid to try something new and different.
Oh, agreed.
Whether it's a new genre of music, whether it's going into fashion, whatever it may be, they know that they have the confidence with themselves and with the support of their members to do it. Again, like, our bias is probably showing, but that's not the case for all groups. It really, we react to a lot of groups, and we can't say that about all, if not even most of them. So it's something that's very special about ATEEZ. And I just want to point out the way that they're dressed in this, you can see the body lines. You don't have any capes or skirts or things, which I get the fashion of all of that, but the body lines are there, especially when you see it, like, Solo, because he does a lot of that, like, arm reaching out and the leg and, like, the pointing, a lot of really defined motions that you can see.
Well, and those exaggerated movements are part of crumping. And so I really feel like with this being just kind of that inner, like, LA, like, gritty, like, vibe, you really got to see crumping and more so of, like, that just hip hop style with this music.
It did feel very gritty. Very gritty. Yeah. And the footwork. My only complaint is when I wasn't complaining really that they were zooming in on Yunho's face.
But you can't see the footwork.
But you really couldn't see the footwork when they did
I'm a sucker for footwork.
She is. I mean, I am too, but you constantly say that.
I'm always about, like, the complimenting the footwork, and I like to see the various, like, styles of the dancers, because you can tell a lot about the groups with their, like, type of footwork.
True. And one thing I really like, that might be my favorite, is I like the formations. And ATEEZ, they do a lot of circular stuff, which I kind of love that, because, again, a circle has no beginning and has no end, and it's kind of like their team ring and whatnot. Like, they're all together. It's not like, yes, we have a captain, yes, we have a maknae, but it's just not one person is superior to the rest. Like, so they're all equal. So they're all, when those formations are moving and they, like, constantly have levels, it's just visually very appealing to someone like me who's not a dancer and knows nothing about what they're doing or what it's called visually. And when it ties into the music, you hear the rhythm, you see the rhythm. It's just a full body experience.
It's also very difficult to move in formation of a circle.
Like, I can only imagine. On one leg, they're like hopping and pick it up.
Right.
Like they're hopping in one leg, like going around in a circle. It's like, and I fall down. Like,
because you just have certain hits and points that you have to reach so that people are still within all the visual sides. And so that makes it, I think, even more complex.
Absolutely. So
I've done that with color guard before, and
as I say, marching band to a certain extent. Yeah.
Like, when you don't, it's noticeable.
And you've got to hit it, because if you have the color guard, you don't want to get hit with the flag as you're, like, walking through. So those things are important, and it's definitely more challenging when you're doing something like singing on top of it. I mean,
well, and was it Songhwa? Songhwa was the one who said, like, they sang, like, they practiced singing on treadmills and jumping.
Yes, it was Songhwa. Man. Which makes sense, because
totally makes
we were
sense.
just watching the guide about all of them and how incredibly stable their vocals are. And it was like Songhwa in particular was, like, on a table, getting up, like, doing, like, a back bend sort of thing and, like, pulling himself up all while singing. But it's just so good. So impressive. So we are big fans. This was a wonderful, wonderful performance. I did think it was really cool that they've added the ATEEZ now. So at first I had a hard time looking it up because I'm looking up KQ Fellaz, but that's nice that the ATEEZ has been added. So it just shows you what they've accomplished in all the years. So well done, guys. So if you are fans of ATEEZ or KQ Fellaz or any of the performances that we've seen or have yet to see, make sure that you like and subscribe down below so that you can see this content as it's coming out and all of our reactions. And if there's something that you'd like us to take a look at for ATEEZ, make sure you let us know in the comment section down below.
And if you like drama, make sure you check out Hallyu Reviews, where we tell you which dramas to watch, must watch, or completely skip. Save the trauma of a bad drama, y'all. Until next time.
Annyeong.